I would now like to invite Bhante Sujato to come and share with us. Bhante Sujato is an Australian Buddhist monk. He's from the meditative forest tradition and is the abbot of Santee Forest Monastery in Bundanon.
So, it's great to see everyone here today. Thank you so much to Vijay and the Hindu Council for putting this together, and to all of those who've come and to all of the other speakers presenting this afternoon. Just while I'm going to be giving the talk, there's just a slideshow with some random images that I threw together. These are all pictures from my monastery in Bundanon. So this will just give you an idea of the context that we live in, and some kind of wanted to sort of convey something of the feel of what it's like to be living in a forest monastery. Unfortunately, we can't convey the smell of the fresh air and the gum trees and so on, nor can we convey the crispness of the cool air that comes over the Southern Highlands, but at least you can get something of it. So I thought maybe just to start with just a very short meditation. Would you like to do that? Yeah, let's just do maybe just 1 minute meditation. Just sit quietly. Or stand quietly. And bring awareness into the present moment. Feeling what your body feels like. Touching cloth on the skin, or the feeling of the seat where we're sitting, hearing the sounds around us. Worries, simply being content and present. To the end of the meditation, open your eyes. Would you mind coming back to normal? I think it's important to bring to a forum like this the notion of religious or spiritual practice. We just heard a very wonderful speech from the Baha'i perspective on the ethics, global ethic and so on, and encapsulated so well many of the things that I believed in for so long. But religion isn't just about philosophies in the global picture, it's also a very intensely personal affair. It's something that each person experiences. And it's the experience of something that we call the spiritual or the religious, the transcendent, and luminous, experience like that which lies, I believe, at the heart of all religious traditions. Of course, in Buddhism, we cultivate that experience primarily through the practice of meditation. I was a greenie long before I was a Buddhist, and long before I was a Buddhist monk. When I was a university student in the 80s, I was a member of Animal Liberation, and we did all kinds of fun things in those days. So for me, living a life that's sustainable, that's content and so on, was already part of my values long before I encountered Buddhism. When I encountered Buddhism more or less by accident when I was travelling in Thailand. I ended up in a monastery because, oh well, there's lots of monasteries around the place and they're very cheap to stay at. So that was good. And we went and stayed and we lived in the monastery. And monasteries are kind of peculiar thing. I know I can't speak for Christian monasteries. I've never lived in a Christian monastery, but certainly Buddhist monasteries are rather peculiar things because they don't produce anything particularly. I mean, you might produce a book or something like that, but that's not really the point of it. The point is that there's just a space where people can go and you can just simply be. So what we try to do is to offer a space where people can go and people can be. And an environment in nature is very conducive towards the contemplation and towards the deepening of our own understanding of ourselves and our relationship with the environment. And one of the things that I found when I was living in Thailand, in the forest monasteries there, was that, even when I went to Thailand, I didn't have very much. Right? I was a musician before that, which meant that I was, when I say musician, it meant that I played the guitar for pennies on the street corner. And so I went to Thailand with not very much money. So I was used to being, not being able to just buy whatever I wanted or have whatever I wanted. But when I went to the monastery, it's like there's almost nothing there. Almost nothing. And you're just there with a small little room in a little hut in the middle of the forest. And that was where I found out what the true meaning of happiness was. And I found out that the more things I was able to let go of, the more things that I did without, the happier I was. And I found that even though we were living in a very poor part of the world, and I could see the villagers and so on who were living in the local village, and they didn't have very much, but they weren't like starving or anything like that, but they just lived simple lives. And I realised that actually I had a lot less than those villagers did. They had some buffaloes and some rice fields and things like that. I didn't have anything. And I was so content. So for me, this is one of the great messages that I've learned through my practice of Buddhism, and which I believe a similar message can also be found in different religions as well. But the more we're content, the more we can do with little. Not out of a sense of self-denial or self-loathing or anything like that, but just because we're happy inside. The more we can do without those things, the more peaceful we'll become, the happier we'll become. So this is just a very simple message I wanted to convey this afternoon. So thank you very much, everybody, and I'll hand you over to the next speaker.
So for that reminder that it's about ethics, but it's about lived practice. And not only what we say, but silence and daily mindfulness. Thank you.